Hey everyone, Shin here. So, I am just a little bit hyped. This week, ANET put out a teaser for the next Elite Specialization, and it's the Warrior Elite Spec. It is the Warrior Elite Specialization for Heart of Thorns, and in a previous video, in an update video, I told you guys I wasn't going to do really any Elite Spec coverage for any of the other classes, but I was going to do one on the Warrior. Guess what week it is? It's Warrior Elite Spec week. So, I'm going to do full coverage of all of the info they gave us on the Elite Spec. I will probably do coverage of the live stream as well. I don't know how I'm going to manage all the video stuff, but I will bring you all of the info I can on this thing. I will do impressions and thoughts and speculation on all that stuff as well when the info is appropriate and I have enough to do that. But for now, I just wanted to let you guys know that, hey, I'm doing videos on it this week. So I'm super stoked. Now, originally, this video was just going to be, hey guys, it's Warrior Elite Spec week, I'm going to do a video on it and give you all the news and whatnot. But, not even like 5 minutes before I started recording the audio, some of you guys linked me a Datamined thread on Reddit that has 4 things that are tied to the Warrior Elite Spec. And normally I'm kind of wary or cautiously optimistic about data mining stuff, and I don't really say, hey, we're getting this because Datamining says so. But since it's so close to the reveal of the Elite Spec for Warrior, I figure these are pretty set in stone by now as far as development goes. So, I want to share what the 4 things that were datamined, or at least linked in this thread for the Warrior Elite Spec, were with you guys, and just give quick descriptions and thoughts on them. I want to keep this video fairly short. So, without further ado, here are the things that were in that thread that you guys showed me right before I started recording stuff. Alright, so the first thing that's linked in this Reddit thread is a tooltip for something called Primal Rage. I'm assuming, based on the way this is worded, that is the first minor trait in the Elite Spec line. You know, the one that lets you use your new weapon and your new profession mechanics. This one is Primal Rage. You can equip torches and use sacrificial skills, gain access to Berserk mode and Berserk bursts. Okay, first off, torches, kind of a given, based on the teaser pic and the fact that it says it right there. This is so late in development that I don't see them changing our weapon on us. Second, use sacrificial skills. This sounds like a brand new utility type to me. This sounds like something we currently don't have in the game right now. The closest thing I can think of are corruption skills, but it would say something along the lines of corruption skills if they actually were of the corruption type. I think sacrificial skills are a brand new type of skill utility that we're going to be getting, where you get a perk for sacrificing some of your health. The whole Berserker theme, or at least the typical Berserker theme, is where you basically give up your personal well-being or your personal defenses to gain more offensive boosts. And I have a feeling ANET is going that route with this, and they are giving us something where we can sacrifice probably health, but maybe, say, boons or adrenaline or something like that to gain some extra perk or some benefit from that sacrifice. So sacrificial skills, just that in and of itself, has me really interested to see what we're going to get. Then you have gain access to Berserk mode and Berserk bursts. What I think this is, I think it's a combination of a one-time burst that gives you a buff, or it toggles you into a mode that has, say, an explosion when you initially use it. As you can see with the Berserk tooltip, it says it does damage, and it gives you burning when you use it. Release a flame burst. So I have a feeling when you activate it, you explode and do a bunch of burning and damage to everyone around you. And then while you are in this mode, you have increased attack speed, which again fits the Berserker theme. Also, it says Berserk bursts. So I think what this is going to be is we're going to get an F2, which will be the Berserk mode. And when you activate it, it will do the burst and give you the buff. And then our F1 will flip over and become a brand new skill, and we will get brand new burst skills for every single weapon. And this right away is already something interesting. Like, we have pretty cool burst skills. They're pretty straightforward. It fits with the warrior theme. But getting access to a brand new burst skill for every single weapon we can use while in this mode, I'm already stoked for. Like, that's taking every single weapon we can use and then capitalizing on it for this Elite Spec. It's not completely changing everything we do, because we'll still be able to use our normal burst skills, but we'll also gain a completely new set of burst skills for whenever we want to use them while in Berserk mode, and I'm really excited for that. I don't know if Berserk mode costs you adrenaline. I'm going to guess it does. I don't know how these Berserk burst skills are going to interact with adrenaline if you're draining it with Berserk mode. That all remains to be seen, so it'll be interesting to see what info ANET drops on us later in the week, but these are just my speculations on what it's going to be for now. Alright, the second tooltip that was linked in this thread is something called Bloody Roar. This, again, looks like a trait, but I think this might be a major trait. It looks like something you would opt into, as opposed to just having baseline. Basically, you taunt and bleed enemies whenever you go into Berserk mode, which I just talked a whole bunch about, and you gain Fury for every foe you taunt. ANET's kind of got this whole multi-target hit benefit thing going with the Necro Shouts for Reaper. It looks like they're doing something similar with this for the Berserk mode, where you gain more benefit or whatever for getting a whole bunch of targets hit with this skill. The taunt aspect of it, I think this ties in with maybe something that benefits the Berserker when they are lower on health. I had a theory that some of our traits from before the Specialization patch that gave us perks, more damage, say, while we were under a certain threshold, all of those traits went into our elite spec because it was, quote, berserkering or whatever. And I think Bloody Roar, this trait ties into that, if that is something we're getting, where you have a bunch of people taunting on you, they're doing enough damage where you can kind of control it because it's just their auto attacks, but you still take damage, which lowers your health, which gives you those benefits of having a lower threshold of HP. This is, again, speculation on my part, but it could be that. It could just be a glorified AoE CC, which would also be handy. I don't know. It seems interesting. It could benefit any number of builds. Again, we don't even know how half of the Berserker stuff works. We don't actually, I should say, we don't even know how 80% of the Berserker stuff works. But it seems like an interesting trait. It seems like a major trait. The third trait, or whatever it is that was linked in this thread, Eternal Champion, you gain Defiance while berserking. It's a break bar while you're in Berserk mode. I think this is kind of something that was speculated for a while by the community or people who are thinking on this, where you go Berserk, you get a break bar, because being CC'd while you're berserking doesn't really make sense unless you have a lot of people do it on you. I think it fits. I think it makes sense for what happens while you're berserking. Whether it's a major or a minor, I'm not sure. It could go either way. I could see this being something you just get all the time, or I could see it being something you get as a choice. Who knows? We won't know until ANET gives us more info, but seems fitting. I think it's pretty cool. And then finally, the last thing that was linked in this thread is something called Savage Instinct. It basically makes Berserk mode, or activating Berserk mode, a stun break. Again, this, like Eternal Champion, could be a major or a minor, I'm not sure. I could see it working either way. It fits the theme either way. But it's basically just turning your Berserk mode into a stun break. So, could be either one. Need more info, speculation, yada yada. Now, as far as the naming of 3 of these go, you got Primal Rage, Bloody Roar, and Savage Instinct. They all kind of have like this animal motif, this kind of like wild beast motif going on. So I'm thinking there may be heavy animal influence in this. If you look at the torch, it has a heavy animal influence, so I don't know what that means. Warriors in the game so far haven't really been linked with animals before. That's been more of a ranger thing, but maybe that's what they wanted to do with the aesthetic of the Elite Spec for Warrior this time around. I don't know. Either way, I think it's pretty cool. Animals can go berserk. Why not have the Warrior have animal motifs while going berserk? It's just kind of a theme that I noticed while looking through all of these. Anyway, that is it for this video. Originally, like I said before, I was just going to be a, hey, I'm going to do a bunch of news stuff and video and info stuff for you guys on the Warrior Elite Spec this week. But then you guys linked me this Datamining thread, and I kind of had to go ham. Again, I will put this out there. This is Datamining stuff. Anything could change at the last moment, but it's so close to the reveal that I have a bit more faith in these being closer to what we're actually going to see than previous Datamining stuff. That's why you haven't heard me say anything about Datamining stuff in the past. Regardless of everything, I am super stoked. I can't wait to see what my Elite Spec is. I know a lot of you guys can't wait to see what the Elite Spec is. We just have to wait and see what ANET's going to give us for info. I will get you guys info on this. I'm super stoked regardless, as you can probably tell throughout this video. So I'll bring you guys this info when I got it. And with that, thanks for listening, everyone. I will see you in the next video or around the stream. Take care, everyone.